The sun was melting into the horizon when Ethan Clark stepped out of his gleaming black car and onto the familiar stretch of golden farmland that once defined his world. The evening breeze carried the scent of wet earth and old dreams, a haunting reminder of everything he had left behind. Just a few steps ahead, bent among the young green rows, was a woman in a maroon dress and a faded beige apron. Her braid fell neatly over her shoulder, her hands steady as she plucked weeds from the soil. Time hadn't changed her grace. Mira, his ex-wife, still worked this land with the same quiet devotion. 5 years had passed since he last saw her. 5 years of building skyscrapers, chasing boardroom deals, and collecting wealth that never filled the void she left behind. If you believe in forgiveness, second chances, and love that survives even silence, then stay till the end, because what happens next will remind you that hearts can heal in the most unexpected ways. Ethan had become a name that commanded respect, his empire stretching from city to city. But every night, as he stared at his reflection in his penthouse mirror, he saw only loneliness staring back. He had everything, except peace. He remembered the last words Mira said before walking away. "You'll win the world, Ethan. I just hope you don't lose yourself doing it." At the time, he laughed it off. He believed love could wait while ambition couldn't. But love doesn't wait forever. It either grows beside you or dies in the silence you leave it in. While Ethan rose in fortune, Mira remained grounded in the soil they once dreamed of expanding together. The small farmhouse, their first shared dream, had become her entire universe. She survived by hard work and quiet strength. Neighbors often saw her at dawn, barefoot in the misty fields, her maroon dress damp with dew, her hands rough from labor, but her eyes calm with acceptance. She had learned to live with the pain he left behind. When Ethan's footsteps broke the stillness of the field, Mira looked up. Their eyes met, two lives divided by time, stitched together by memory. He looked older, his hair grayer, his face sharper, but his eyes soft, heavy with guilt. She stood slowly, wiping her hands on her apron, disbelief flickering across her face. He said nothing. Instead, Ethan walked to his car and pulled out a small wooden box, the corners worn smooth with time. He approached her, each step deliberate, each breath uncertain. When he finally stood before her, he opened the box. Inside lay a bundle of papers tied with a faded ribbon, and on top, a single silver key. Her brows furrowed. Before she could speak, he did, his voice trembling but sincere. He told her about the farmhouse, her late father's home that had been destroyed years ago in a storm, a project he once promised to rebuild but abandoned for a meeting that seemed more important. Now it stood again, fully restored, furnished, surrounded by the same oak tree she once planted with her father as a child. The key was hers. The papers proved the deed had been transferred solely to her. No conditions, no strings. Tears welled in Mira's eyes. She touched the key gently, her voice barely above a whisper. "Why now, Ethan?" He looked at the hills and said softly, "Because I built everything I ever dreamed of, and none of it meant anything without the woman who taught me what love really is." Silence fell, broken only by the rustle of corn in the wind, like the sound of forgiveness trying to find its way back. He didn't ask for another chance. He knew some wounds weren't meant to heal into love again, but into understanding. Then, she did something he didn't expect. Mira placed her hand over his, not to hold him, but to free him. "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting," she said. "It means freeing both hearts from what they've carried too long." Her touch trembled, but her voice was steady. She couldn't promise love again, but she offered peace. For Ethan, that was more than enough. Something broke inside him, not pain, but pride. He realized the gift he brought her wasn't the house. It was the apology he had never had the courage to give. As he walked back to his car, the sky turned gold. He looked back one last time and saw her kneeling again in the soil, calm, strong, and radiant in the evening sun. For the first time in years, Ethan smiled, not as a millionaire, but as a man who had finally found peace. Because sometimes the most precious thing you can give someone isn't wealth or grand gestures. It's the courage to show up and make things right. He didn't drive away in triumph. He drove away free, his soul lighter, his heart finally at rest. Some stories don't end in love. They end in understanding, and that is its own kind of miracle. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles for more stories that celebrate forgiveness, love, and the quiet strength of kindness. Tell us in the comments, do you believe in second chances when people truly change? Because sometimes the heart that once broke you is the one that teaches you what love was always meant to be.